Vikings fan, let me start with you. I really am curious. How y'all living this morning? How was your night last night? Because from where I am sitting, that was the best, worst night and the worst, best night ever. Like if the rap was that Mike Zimmer could get fired after that game, the Vikings came out and they played like they wanted to get him a 10-year extension. And the Steelers did as well. Was that first half about the Vikings being that awesome or the Steelers being that horrible? The answer is yes, because the Vikings did everything they wanted and the Steelers let them do whatever the hell they wanted. The Steelers could barely line up on defense and they could not block anybody on offense. And remember all those questions about whether or not Dalvin Cook would go? The answer was yes. Not only did he go, there was nothing Pittsburgh could do to stop this guy. He looked fast. He looked explosive. He looked like he was going to humiliate the Steelers. I would say Dalvin Cook was gashing the Steelers, but it's so much worse than that. I mean, yes, he showed a lot of toughness. He's got a busted up wing. He's taking some shots. But then there were times that he was running through holes that were enormous. Like my man's all up in here running through the Grand Canyon. Where'd he go? Would he go? He had a franchise record, 153 yards in the first half. And when Cook was not carving up the Steelers, Harrison Smith was absolutely wrecking Ben Roethlisberger. Roethlisberger got cracked so hard right there. I thought for sure they'd roll out that old man's rascal and drive him back to the sideline because there was no way that old dude was just going to walk that off. Dude looks like he can barely walk upright under the best of circumstances off the field. How was he going to walk off the field after that? So for the first 30 minutes, that game was not even a game. That was like some sort of ritual humiliation to the Steelers. Man, they didn't want to be there. They didn't want to be there, and nobody wanted them there. I sure as hell didn't want them there. I didn't want to watch it. The Steelers were that bad. Troy Aikman was calling it, quote, junior league ball. You know how bad you have to suck for the announcers to call you out like that? So the Vikings were up 29-0 late in the third. 29-0 late in the third. Then, of course, right on cue, the Vikings remember they're the Vikings. And they go all Nap Nation right in the middle of the game with the entire nation watching. And you know they were thinking, man, you know what they were thinking. Yes, we have choked before. Yes, we were the losers who lost to the Lions. Yes, our quarterback lined up under guard. Yes, if anybody could choke away a 29-point lead late in the third quarter, it would be us. Except nobody, not even them, could choke away a 29-point lead late in the third quarter. The hell you can't, Minnesota. And it's not as if they didn't do their damnedest to pull it off either. Pittsburgh scores 3 quick TDs, and before you know it, it's 29-20. Viking fan is freaking out. Those who took the Vikings and laid the points and had already spent the money they thought they banked when it was 29-0. Were freaking out. The only question left was, would Mike Zimmer make it off the field without getting fired? And which player or coach or both was he going to knock the hell out when it happened? It was that bad. Especially when you remember that game was in prime time. Because we all know how Kirk Cousins plays in prime time. And he was living up to that terrible rep in the second half until he finally hit KJ Osborne for that bomb to make it a 16-point lead.
Finally.
Damn good thing, too. Because even Ritt was like, finally.
Finally.
Who did you have in that game, old man? He didn't play. All right. Scared money don't make money. You know that, Ritt. Anyway, damn good thing, because if he does not complete that pass, I'm not sure that either Cousins or Zimmer make it back from that catastrophic choke job. However, even with that 16-point lead in the fourth quarter, the Vikings still tried to choke. Pittsburgh scored again. Pittsburgh even had a great look at it late in the game. Give it to the big man and his rascal. Hey, man, Ben put that ball right there. He did. If dude hangs on to it, you know they're going to get that 2-point conversion. You know they're going to go on and win in overtime. There's no way that wasn't happening. And then you know there's no way that Mike Zimmer's post-game speech in the locker room wasn't going to be about him beating guys about the head and face with a chair. It's a fact. Mike Zimmer would have been all going psychotic. He's bleeping, beating people up, and we need help. You know that would have been Zimmer. I guarantee it. Luckily, that did not happen. So last night was not just about the Vikings going Jekyll and Hyde. It was about the Steelers getting crushed in the trenches again. My man Cam Hayward said it best. I tell you what, man, I don't mess with Cam. And Cam ain't messing with them. He does not like what he's saying. Neither did Mike Straight Fire Tomlin. Let me tell you something right there. That is the straight fire. The straight fire I've been waiting on from Mike Tomlin. He's absolutely right. They were JV again last night. And not whooping enough tail. Quote, not whooping enough tail is a polite way of saying they were kicking our asses up and down the field all night long. And it's not the first time it's happened. In fact, it keeps happening. And that's not how this franchise and how this town gets down. The Steelers do not get manhandled and punched in the face and curb stomped. They're the ones who manhandle chumps, break faces, and curb stomp others. Or at least they used to. And I'll tell you something else. As much as I like this guy, but when they were not getting cracked, they were going brain dead at the worst possible time. Chase Claypool is a hell of a receiver, man. Love the guy's game. Love how physical he is. He makes catches that you can barely understand. And he had at least one of those last night. Problem is, he has other moments that you also can't understand. More than one, in fact. Like when he got flagged for a personal foul in the first quarter. And yes, maybe he was only retaliating, but you can't do that. I mean, that was really stupid.
This is stupid!
Get! And then it was dumb enough that Mike Tomlin benched him. Benched him for a while. But if he was hoping that Claypool was going to learn his lesson, that's not exactly what happened. Because on the Steelers' final drive of the game, Claypool caught a 9-yard pass for a first down with 42 seconds left and no timeouts, by the way, and then proceeds to signal for a first down on one knee and in slow motion, no less. Dude, what are you doing? It is legitimately one of the dumber things I've seen in a long, long time. You're celebrating a reception and signaling for a first down with less than a minute to go when you're trying to score a touchdown to tie the game and you have no timeouts when you do it. All right, I get that it's an emotional game. I get you run pretty hot. But time and place, dude. Time and freaking place, and that was neither. Like, you know it's a moronic move when one of your offensive linemen has to rip the ball out of your hands to set up the next play. I mean, credit to Claypool for owning it after the game, I guess. But that stupid little celebration probably cost them another look at the end zone. And I know it didn't make Fat Ben, but Big Ben, very happy either. And even less happy that he had to answer questions about it after. That is the ultimate, hey man, don't ask me. Don't ask me, I just work here. Actually, that's more like, don't ask me, I'm only going to be working here another few weeks. That sounds like a guy who's ready to start more rumors about his retirement. I said that sounds like a guy who's ready to start more rumors about his retirement, allegedly. I just know this much. That game was pretty much exactly what I expected. It delivered, which is why I jumped into my adult diaper in the first place. Because I knew that both teams would take a giant dump in their pants. And they did. You want to know the truth? I am still rocking that adult diaper as we speak, just in case there's any additional fallout or residual fallout from that game last night. Because it really was that jacked up. Even for them and even for a Thursday night.